What's going on YouTube? Stuart here with the 1990 Foxbody. I just wanted to go ahead and do a little update video of things you want to look for when you're buying an old Foxbody like this. So the first thing I want to clear up is in the last video I implied that there was no difference between a world-class T5 and standard T5. That's not actually true. There are some differences. The world-class is updated. It's slightly better, however, in my opinion, it's really not worth the price hike that somebody might try to sell you one for. So the point is, don't pay extra for a world-class T5 because it's not actually worth extra money. People try to sell them like they're bulletproof transmissions, but they're really not. They're just a hair better than your standard T5. The next thing we're going to look at is going to be the proper location you're going to look on your strut towers. Okay, so in the last video, I directed you to look up here, which is also important. These go bad, but before these go bad, you actually have damage to the lower portion, and I actually do have some of that damage, and I was just a little bit embarrassed to show it, but for the greater good, I'll show you. If you just look down at the bottom of the shock towers, you'll see that there is some rust down there. Mine is not terrible, but at this point, it does need to be addressed, and we'll be repairing that at a later time. This is not the worst. I mean, it will rust all the way around, but that's definitely a red flag that you want to look at. And if you see anything that's anything worse than that, you don't want to get a car with something that's worse than that, because that can be pretty pricey to get fixed. This side is pretty solid over here, fairly, but that's the part that you want to look at on your shock towers. The next thing underneath the car, I mentioned the torque boxes. I didn't really get in depth with it. Things are going to look a little bit different on a typical Foxbody. This is the IRS car, so that's part of the IRS there. This is the torque box. Mine's a little bit bent up, again, because somebody was improperly jacking the car. But it's not rusted out, it's not deformed, and this one's actually good to go. The other major point of interest is going to be your upper control arm mount, and you won't be able to see it on this car, again, because of the IRS. Definitely, if you're serious about buying a car, it's definitely going to be worth your time to take a jack with you so you can look underneath the car. But in order to find that lower control arm mount, you're going to want to look at the rear spring, which you see back there, and it's towards the inside of the body, right next to where the rear spring is. All right, folks, I happen to be here at the junkyard, and there's a car here with no rear end in it, and so actually I can show you the upper control arm mounts that I was talking about earlier that you can't see. So this would be where the spring is, right in this area here, and you can see this short piece here is the control arm. So the mounting area for that is going to be right there. If you look up, you can see where it's attached to the floor, and you want to make sure that that's not totally rusted out. You can see a little bit better over there how it looks. So that's the upper control arm mount. That's what you want to look for, where you want to look for rust. Okay, and the last additional point of interest that I want to point out to you is going to be your seat bolt mounts. These can get rusted out really easily. It's really thin metal right here. It's old iron or steel or whatever you want to call it, but it turns to rust. This one on mine is actually damaged and has been repaired. If the car has carpet in it and you can't lift up the carpet, you're not really going to be able to see it. If it does rust out, it shouldn't be terribly expensive to get it fixed. So I wouldn't let that stop you from buying a car if that's the only thing that you find wrong with it. But if you want to check it out before you buy the car, I would just say grab the front of the seat firmly and try to give it a shake and make sure that you don't have any excessive movement or play. If you look here, I do have a little hole in my carpet, and I can kind of peel it back and see that there's no rust on this side. But when you get home and it's time for you to go through the car, definitely pull your seats out and take a look and see what you have underneath your carpet. So I just want to say thanks to the folks who took their time and left good comments, because we're able to share good information here, and make sure that people are going to have a good buying experience when they do decide to buy themselves a Foxbody. So keep the good comments coming. Thanks a lot for the information. And like and subscribe to this channel. See you.